Shalom. I want to start off by giving all glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect who are continuing to fight and teach this thing of ours in truth and sincerity. I'm the brother Manatazak with GMS Ancient of Days in Los Angeles, currently teaching with the small sanctuary in Inglewood. And today, through the Spirit, I want to get into a lesson titled End of an Empire. Okay, now this lesson is inspired through the Spirit by the fall of Babylon the Great, which is America. Okay, and we are living amongst the times, in the midst of times, if you will, of this once great kingdom being taken down. Okay, this is the last captivity of the Israelites here in Babylon the Great, and these are some very prophetic and exciting times that we're living in. Okay, just this this past Saturday, there was an attempted assassination on Donald Trump, okay, who was the 45th president of the United States, okay, and he's actually running for office again, okay. So and that's a major event, okay, because that shot that was fired, the bullet whizzed his ear because he had turned his head at the last moment, okay. But had he not done that, we'd be living in a completely different world right now, okay. Just a hair trigger away, so to speak, and we'd be living in a different world. Going to show you that the Spirit is at work. Yahweh Shema Shai did not ordain that to happen. Okay, so we're living in some very exciting times through the Spirit, and this is election year. So who knows if we'll even get to an election year, because there's still tension between Russia and China and Iran. The American dollar, the Federal Reserve note, okay, is continuing to decline amidst these other foreign nations building their own monetary system, okay, that's actually backed by substantial interest, okay, because the FRN is not backed by anything, okay, it's not even worth the paper it's printed on, okay, and we know that once the financial system starts to take a hit, okay, that's what prompts countries to go to war, okay, and even in our own media, the news is saying, had this been any other time in history, we would have already been at war. Once again, going to show you that Yahweh Shema Shai is in control of all things. Okay, prophecy must needs take place. But pursuant to prophecy, one of the major ones that's destined to take place, pursuant to the scriptures, is the fall of America, Babylon the Great. Now, without further ado, I want to begin in the book of Jeremiah chapter 50. And I don't intend for this lesson to be long through the Spirit. It's just going to be just a reading of the prophecies that are written about this place, and just to further educate and exhort about the times that we're in and how serious we need to be, okay? Because at any moment, okay, as we seen on Saturday, at any moment, something major could happen. And just like that, the internet could be shut off, civil war could be implemented, martial law could be implemented, the prophets could be off the streets, okay? The hot topic of the week is the apostles and elders open up the door to the affiliates to be official members of Great Millstone, and you got the majority of them bucking up against order because they don't want to lose their so-called authority or so-called position, or they don't want to come under orders of other men. Okay, and that's definitely the wrong spirit to be in, because at the end of the day, that order has already been set. Okay. And if you are learning from the apostles and elders and believe these men to be potential men of the Lord, then you would have to come to the understanding that Yahweh Shema Shai set them up in that position to be teachers and leaders for a reason. So why would you not want to come under that order? We're a spiritual army anyway, okay? And if the Lord ordained for you to be in a high and lofty position, then He would have woke you up accordingly. But we're all coming back in our same lots. And at the end of the day, we're all fighting for that same penny anyways. Okay, our primary goal should be salvation. Because none of us in this thing are above Yahweh Shai. Okay, so what difference does it make where we fall in that lot? We're just trying to be a part of that number, right? Or at least that should be your mindset through the Spirit. But I digress. With that being said, let's begin the book of Jeremiah chapter 50, which reads a prophecy against Babylon. And this is apropos because Jeremiah is actually speaking about ancient Babylon, but this is a future prophecy as well. We can apply it to the times now, okay? Because we are in Babylon the Great, and the prophecies written herein have not yet happened yet, okay? This is Jeremiah 50, beginning at the top. It says, "The word that the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet." And we know the ancient Chaldeans were the warlocks and you know the witches, the upper elite of Esau Edom, which today, you know, would fall upon the head bankers, the elite banking families. They would be the modern day Chaldeans, so to speak. Okay, it says, "Declare ye among the nations and publish and set up a standard, publish and conceal not." Okay, and what are we declaring to the nations? Their judgment. Okay, true indeed, Babylon the Great is that great kingdom that's going to be taken down, but you other nations are not going to be next to rule. When Yahweh Shai returns, he's going to take all you nations down in one fell swoop. Okay, in one fell swoop. The Israelites have next, whether you believe it or not. And the Israelites, pursuing the prophecy, are you so-called Negroes, so-called Hispanics, and so-called Native Americans. Okay, not to mention the speckled bird that's mingled amongst the other nations. Okay, continuing on. It says, "Say, Babylon is taken, Bel is confounded, Merodach is broken in pieces, her idols are confounded, her images are broken in pieces." So Babylon is the land of all these different gods and idols, such as Bel and Merodach. Okay, you got an amalgamation of all these different nations and all their beliefs and all their different idols and false gods here in Babylon the Great. Okay, but they're all going to be confounded because there's only one true living power, and that's Yahweh. Okay, it says, "For out of the north there cometh a nation against her." Okay, this is speaking about the Russians, right? Coming against Babylon the Great, which is Babylon's primary enemy. It says, "Which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, they shall depart, both man and beast." And that's a heavy, heavy prophecy to be written about Babylon. Now what's going to show that this is talking about Babylon the Great is ancient Babylon, which is modern day Iraq, still stands. People still live there. True indeed, it's a wilderness, but it's not a desolate wilderness void of life. So this Babylon is talking about when that nation from the north comes, it's going to turn it into a desert. Okay? And that is yet to happen, but it will happen by way of intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs. Okay? These nukes will be shot in World War III, which is soon to come. Okay? Verse 4, it says, "In those days and in that time, saith the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai, the children of Israel shall come, they and the children of Judah." Okay, now we know during the time of King Solomon, the kingdom was split into two, the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. The southern kingdom being Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, and the northern kingdom being Ephraim and the rest of the tribes. So when it's talking about in that time, the children of Israel coming together with the children of Judah, okay, the children of Israel is the northern kingdom, and the children of Judah is the southern kingdom coming together. And that's what you're seeing taking place before your very eyes, pursuant to Ezekiel, the 37th chapter. The two sticks merging and joining together, becoming one stick. We are once again becoming one nation. Okay, further proving that this is prophecy taking place before your very eyes because it was written beforehand and it's actually playing out. Okay, it says, "Going and weeping they shall go and seek the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai their power." Are we not crying to the Lord now that we've woken up to who we really are? Okay. Remember the valley of the dry bones? You know that breath of life being breathed back into us, that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. You know, the sinew and the muscles, right, coming upon the bones. We're becoming flesh, standing upon our feet. Okay, we're once again getting back our language, our nationality, our tribe, right? This is what's taking place. And now that we've come to know the truth and what our purpose is here, we are once again crying to Yahweh Shem Shai to deliver us from our captivity. Because this has been the worst captivity our nation has ever been in. Because prior to the prophecies taking place, okay, of our return, we were amongst that falling away where we didn't have our language or our names or our nationality or our culture. It was stripped from us. Okay? Continuing on, verse 5, it says, they shall ask the way to Zion with their faces thitherward. And Zion in the Hebrew, to Zion is a monument or memorial. Okay? And we are that monument and memorial to Yahweh Shem Shai. But Zion is also another term for our land. Okay? Because we are a people before we're a place. Okay? And we are yet this day in our captivity, both the northern and the southern kingdom. Right? It says, saying, come, let us join ourselves to the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai in a perpetual covenant that shall not be forgotten. Perpetual is something that's continuous. And the covenants, okay, the law, statutes, and commandments were given to only one nation and one nation alone. And that is the nation of Israel. Okay? So we're asking to be brought back into that adoption that the Lord once made with us. Okay? And he's going to make true and make good on that promise. Which was the whole reason that Yahweh Shai lived and died in the same sinful flesh, okay, and became that perfect sacrifice to buy us back into the good graces of the Heavenly Father. Okay, he is our Savior. He is our Redeemer, and he is coming to deliver his elect in this lifetime. Continuing on, verse 6, it says, my people have been lost sheep. Remember when Yahweh Shai was on the scene, he said, I have not come but for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Not for all the other nations. And even right here in Jeremiah, he's reiterating that his people have been lost sheep. It says their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains. Okay? And the shepherds are talking about the leaders of these other groups. For example, you got the ISUPK, the IUIC, the GOCC, HOI, right? And the list goes on and on and on about these different Israelite groups that have woken up. But you're leading the sheep astray. The vanguard of this truth begins with Great Millstone. And the Lord is going to make that plain and clear as time continues to go on. Okay, that proverbial line in the sand is being drawn, and the Lord is about to magnify his men on a high level. Okay? Continuing on, it says, they have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place. Okay? And the precept is Ezekiel 34 and 11. Let's get that real quick. Ezekiel 34, verse 11. It says, for thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai power, behold, I, even I, will both search my sheep and seek them out, as a shepherd seeketh out his flock in the day that he is among his sheep that are scattered. So will I seek out my sheep and will deliver them out of all places where they have been scattered in the cloudy and dark day. And that cloudy and dark day is steadily approaching. But the Lord is going to seek his sheep, beginning with the hopeful elect. And he's going to draw them out from the different places that we have been scattered. Okay, because we were scattered pursuant to the curses amongst all these other nations, all these different governments. Okay, right? That's why in these last days we're going to come back into the fold looking like these other nations and speaking their languages. But the spirit within them bears witness to the spirit that's written herein. And they're going to trust and believe in the names of Yahweh Shem Shai, despite what they look like and what language they speak. And we here at Great Millstone constantly reiterate that this is a spiritual movement, not a physical one. But on top of that, we're not here to gather all the nation. We're here for the hopeful elect, those of a like mind. Okay? It says, all that found them have devoured them, and their adversaries said, we offend not, because they have sinned against the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai, the habitation of justice, even the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai, the hope of their fathers. Okay? But they further the affliction. Okay? They have a tumult against us as a nation, pursuant to Psalms the 83rd chapter, which goes into all the nations that have a confederacy against the nation of Israel. They are working together to keep us in this destitute and stagnant state. Okay? But the hopeful elect are going to wake up from the matrix, so to speak. They're going to stand upon their feet, and they're going to prophesy against this place in the names of Yahweh Shem Shai, which is taking place. Okay? Verse 8, remove out of the midst of Babylon and go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans and be as the he-goats before the flocks. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man, none shall return in vain. So this charge of nations, of allied nations that's going to come against Babylon is going to begin with the north country, which is Russia. And they're going to all shoot their arrows, okay, against Babylon. Now, what are the modern day arrows? Those are the nuclear missiles. Okay, Jeremiah is using parabolic talk with the terms that are readily available to him at this time. Okay, it says their arrow shall be as of a mighty expert man, none shall return in vain. So once you loose an arrow, knock an arrow and loose it and send it flying, it doesn't return. It continues sailing until it hits its target. And that's just like these missiles. Once they're shot off, okay, they're not going to return back into their silos. They're going to hit their designated target through the spirit. Okay, and that target is Babylon the Great. It says, and Chaldea shall be a spoil. All that spoiler shall be satisfied, saith the Lord Yahweh Shemashai. So these nations are going to be satisfied when they shoot these arrows upon Babylon to its utter destruction. It says, because you were glad, because you rejoiced, O ye destroyers of mine heritage, because ye are grown fat as the heifer at grass and bellow as bulls. Okay, this is speaking about the pride of you Americans, which begins with Esau, Edom. Okay, one of the main reasons this destruction is coming is because of the turmoil and the tribulation that you did to the nation of Israel. The Lord is going to get his revenge on you for his heritage, his people. Verse 12, it says, your mother shall be sore confounded. The mother of Babylon, or the mother of America, is speaking about England or Great Britain, right? It says, she that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. So America is going to be a wilderness, a dry land, a desert. It's going to be the forbidden zone, so to speak, like in the Planet of the Apes. Nothing is going to dwell here. And it's going to be a perpetual memorial in the kingdom to come of what happens when you don't keep the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. This place is going to be a complete desert, all 5,000 square miles from sea to shining sea. Okay? It says, because of the wrath of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. And further proof that this is speaking about a future prophecy. Okay, remember, this is written all the way all the way back in the Old Testament from Jeremiah. But modern day Babylon still stands. It is still inhabited. Further proving that this is a future prophecy, one that we are quickly approaching. Now let's get Jeremiah 49 just to prove that point when it goes against a prophecy against Edom. Because Esau, Edom is that nation that is in control of Babylon the Great, and their downfall goes hand in hand with that of Babylon the Great. As the scripture says, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. And that's not to say that the world is going to end, is going to blow up, or anything like that. That just means the end of an age or an eon, the end of an empire, okay? The end of the Edomites' rule. So this Jeremiah 49 and 13, it says, for I have sworn by myself, saying the Lord Yahweh Shemashai, that Basra shall become a desolation. And Basra, okay, was the ancient capital of Edom. Okay, so that could be likened on to a major capital of Edom in this day and age, which is America. Okay, it says, Basra shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, and a curse, and all the cities thereof shall be perpetual waste. It says, I have heard a rumor from the Lord Yahweh Shemashai, and an ambassador is sent unto the heathen, saying, gather ye together and come against her, and rise up to the battle. For lo, I will make thee small among the heathen, and despised among men. And America is greatly hated amongst these other nations, and despised amongst these other nations. Russia, North Korea, Iran, China, they all have problems with America and Babylon the Great. Okay? It says, thy terribleness hath deceived thee, and the pride of thine heart, O that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, that holdest the height of the hill. Though thou shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle, I will bring thee down from thence, saith the Lord Yahweh Shemashai. And does this not mirror what's written in the book of Obadiah, which is only one chapter, 21 verses, going into the fall of Esau, Edom? We are living in the midst of those times now. Verse 17, also Edom shall be a desolation. So not only is Babylon the Great going to be a desolation, but the nation of Edom as well. which is you so-called white people. It says, everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished and hiss at all the plagues thereof. As in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighbor cities thereof, saith the Lord Yahweh Shem Ashai, no man shall abide there, neither shall a son of man dwell in it. Okay? So you look at ancient Sodom and Gomorrah now, okay, it is a land that doesn't have anything growing in it. It's full of nothing but sulfur. Okay? And that's going to be likened on what's going to happen to Babylon the Great. The same fate as Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay? So going back to Jeremiah 50, verse 14, it says, put yourself in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow. Shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai. So all these nations that have a problem with Babylon, the Lord is decreeing that you aim your arrows at her and fire them off. Okay? Nuclear war. Okay, this is what's going to happen. It says, shout against her round about. She hath given her hand. Her foundations are fallen. Her walls are thrown down. For it is the vengeance of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Ashai. Take vengeance upon her, as she hath done, do unto her. Cut off the sword from Babylon, and him that handleth the sickle in the time of the harvest. For fear of the oppressing sword, they shall turn every one to his people, and they shall flee every one to his own land. Okay? So once news of World War III is more rampant, okay, these other nations are going to flee to their own land because they know that this place is going down, and that's happening now. Okay? This economy is failing. This financial system is failing. Even the morality of these people are failing. Okay? Hell, Donald Trump almost got assassinated. All right? There wasn't this much turmoil when Barack Obama was in office. And you know how racist the Edomites are and how much they didn't want him to win. But nobody tried taking a shot or trying to assassinate him. So that's further showing that the Egyptians are coming against the Egyptians. The love of many is waxing cold right before our very eyes. This is all prophecy taking place through the Spirit. Okay? Let's see. Let's get the book of Revelation, chapter 18, and we'll close it out here. Because we can go on and on about the destruction of Babylon, but I just wanted to bring out a couple precepts showing you the times that we're in and what was previously written is actually playing out before our very eyes. Now, when you go to Revelation, the 18th chapter, the headline reads, Babylon Falls. Okay? It says, and after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Okay? So only these defiled type creatures and animals are going to dwell here in Babylon the Great, once it's finally destroyed and laid to rest. Okay, it says, for all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. And Lord willing, us doing this work in truth and sincerity are called up into those chariots to be covered, okay, from this destruction that's to come. Because the scriptures say that the elect are scarcely going to be saved. Okay? So that's why we're doing this work in truth and sincerity and giving this sincere warning out to our people, so that the elect can hear this message and take heed. It says, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. And what do the scriptures say? Pride goes before destruction, and there is no nation on earth that is more proud than America. Verse 8, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord power who judges her. And Lord willing, this happens soon, because with this destruction comes our deliverance, and eventually the kingdom of heaven, which is the kingdom of the Israelites. So with that, I want to give all glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And peace and salutations to the hopeful elect who are continuing to fight and teach this thing of ours in truth and sincerity. This has been your brother Manatazak. And until next lesson, Shalom.